Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of MajorMinor. This should be, if I'm correct, episode 13. Um, Lots of things are kind of coming together. There's still a lot of stuff up in the air. Maxine is possibly going to be killing Rook. And we ended on a interesting conversation with Acheron and Daz. I'm wondering if this has any pertinence, importance, whatever the word, to the actual plot, or this is something that could have just been skipped. That in mind, let's get right back into it. In the arc, continuing their prior conversation. Remember, Max, if you win, you can undo all the damage. You're not actually down for killing. You're just playing a part, fooling him. Take deep, concentrated breaths. Do not let the anxiety overtake you. None of this will be permanent. You can bring them back. Even her. Tokyo, huh? Can't say I've ever been there. Aside from Africa, I stayed in America. Another person of interest will arrive too. They are secondary to your objective. You must ensure that they stay alive. But everyone else in the tour must die. All of them? How many are there? I will give you a list. However, you have to wait before acting. The game doesn't start until the bell tolls. Toll the dead! Sorry. And what exactly is this bell? The death of Clace, of course. Let me explain this in an easier manner. As I said, there's a special guest. I have to keep my eyes on them as well. So your test is happening close by. Other people are competing with you, Max. We need one large event to start this. Something that everybody will know of. I can think of nothing more fitting. The death of their figurehead star. I see. I will give you a specific date and time. It will be up to you to kill him then. After that, you have 24 hours. Alright, that makes perfect sense. Kill Clace, then kill the others. I'll have 24 hours from that point. Yes, but you will have time to practice. Lots of time to set things up, too. You can use your company as cover. Practice murder? Yes, I have the perfect opportunity. The Midnight Deaths. So has she been in Tokyo for a lot longer than just us? I'll give you free reign of Tokyo's people. But this is under one condition. The deaths must happen exactly at Midnight Deaths. Oh, so she's the killer. That seems rather specific. It benefits another venture of mine. Can't say much more than that, Max. I understand. This is an all-or-nothing game. If anyone is left alive, you lose. You must deliver death to all of them. Until you kill Clace, you can practice. That, and formulate your entire plan. You have a world tour to infiltrate. But with the power to stop time, I don't see this as much of an issue. I'm looking forward to your results. Just make sure that the VIP stays alive. They are present, but not on the list. You can't afford to be Reckless, Max. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I'm certain that you won't disappoint, especially given this generous time frame. I hope to see you stand in my place. I'll do my best. So, about this list. Of course, take notes on your phone. You'll be using it a lot from now on. Would you like to save? Sure. There was no choices, so we're just going to save over this file. Actually, can I just hit escape and go back? There we go. Sinja's office, the week of the tour's arrival in Tokyo. Thanks for working with my schedule. I know you're quite eager, Max. Oh, okay. It's nice to finally meet with you. Yes, of course. This is important to me. I ensured that my schedule was wide open. I don't want any conflicts regarding time. I'm glad it all worked out. So, may I ask what you wanted to say? I've never had someone so set on a meeting. You must be very passionate about this. I guess you could use that word. Your employees called it stubborn. You must mean Rook. I assure you, he's harmless. You'll see if you run into him in person. He can be very rude in his emails, but honestly, that's what I need. He's succinct and on the ball. He weeds out those who would waste my time, and he doesn't damage our public image. I'd say it's a win-win scenario, Max. I can see how he scared people away. You're lucky to have a man like him. Let's just hope he stays with the team. I heard about his work in the past, how he ran away from a maid cafe. I hope he's as reliable as you say. I'm surprised you were able to learn that. He's usually very secretive about his past. I've seen him take down entire websites. I have my ways. I'm sure, but let's be more open. You didn't come here to talk about Rook. What are you after, Miss Armstrong? Don't say it like that, Singe. It makes me sound shallow. I want to protect your workforce. Our catalog grows ever larger. I'm sure we can find something you'd like. Can't put a price on your loved ones. Oh, so this is a sales pitch after all. I'm sorry, Max. I don't have time for this. I'm a very busy man with places to be. Well, let's not jump to conclusions. A sales pitch means you're able to decline. It implies you have a choice in the matter. Excuse me? I already have my men arming the building. They'll be finished in a couple of hours. What? Oh, don't worry about it, Singe. We're using largely non-lethal methods. You know, chemical dispersion and stuff. There'll only be a couple explosives. Sorry, but I had to take the initiative. That's how you build an empire, Singe. Have your men back off immediately. Max, we are in a foreign country. We don't have the permits or permission. Already taken care of, Singe. You seem to underestimate me. I want no part in this. I am uncomfortable housing weapons. I don't own this place. Please stop. I won't hesitate to call the police. I don't want to escalate this, Max. Back away from this peacefully. You're right. You don't own this place. Just a couple weeks ago, I bought it. It's a property of Armstrong Incorporated. As of this moment, you're a trespasser. In clear violation of the law, Singe. How would that look on your record? You're bribing me? No, I haven't gotten to that part yet. Singe, if you don't let us arm this place, I'll have you charged for trespassing. But I've paid for a lease. That's not how it works, Max. And it's a legally binding contract. Any contract can be bought out. You just need the right amount of cash. And it turns out, I have a limitless supply. Do you still wish to contest this? Yes, I do. I was hoping it wouldn't come to that. Max reaches into her pocket and takes out a photograph. Look at this. How did you get that? I keep it in my pocket at all times. You don't know what you're dealing with. Forces beyond your control are at play. You need to let me do this, and now. The person in this photograph? They mean the world to you. Yes. So, if the law won't make you cave, I'll have to get a little more personal. You'll lose somebody dear to you instead. I demand your full cooperation, Singe, or else I'll take things into my own hands, and in doing so, take your world away. She rips the photograph in half. No! Who are you? No one important. At least, not yet. I already went through your phone. I got your number, and a few others. Expect me to be in touch. Seems this tour may start with a bang. So, he was coerced. Meanwhile, on the first floor of the convention center, it's always one thing after another. I swear, I won't get a break until I die. The press conference was just the start. People have been begging for interviews. I guess I can try to find time for them. I'll have to focus on the big outlets, the ones that can spread word farther. No offense to the little guys, of course. Free advertising, improved public image. World has to know that we're okay. I'll have to start by making a... Hello, Rook. Claire! What are you doing here? I came here to see the conference. You know, I heard about Clace and stuff, so I wanted to see what was going on. Eclair shuffles awkwardly in place. Rook types on his tablet at a frantic pace. They both seem apprehensive. It was definitely something, wasn't it? Singe hasn't been himself lately. I noticed a change in his mindset. I have to talk some sense into him yet. You shouldn't be in here. All civilians were apparently escorted out. Just stating the facts. It's not that I'm unhappy to see you again. So, how's business back at the cafe? Better than ever. Things have been great. Not to say that it's better without you. It's just, well, things are alright. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you put my check to good use. Yes, of course. We were bankrupt. You sent it at the perfect time, Rook. I was just about to shut the doors for good. Your check saved the business. But it also showed that you still cared. I guess that's why I came here. You're still in my thoughts, too. What perfect timing. I heard you were going through some trouble. I didn't know it was that bad, Eclair. It was the least I could do. I mean, I put you through so much trouble. I just ran away, like a coward. It's okay, Rook. I know you had your reasons. Have you been able to move on? In a way. He stares at the screen of his tablet. I'm glad to hear. I needed to see how you were holding up. I mean, since Clace passed on, I didn't want you to react the same way. I was able to bounce back, but Singe? I'm not sure he could handle it. It's okay, Claire. I'm fine. The death of Clace was very unfortunate, but we were never really that close. Not as close as I was to him. This won't affect me the same way, Claire. I'll push through for Singe and Jade. Yeah, for Jade. You've gotten quite close to her, right? Yeah, we're definitely close. We spend almost every waking hour together. Singe always has stuff for us to do. It's a lot harder work than a maid cafe. That I can say for sure. But it feels rewarding when we finish. I have to push myself. I end up growing. Perhaps that's why I'm not taking this as hard as I was the last time. I'm stronger. Yeah, it seems that way. I wish you were like this back at the cafe. It was so much fun to work with you, Rook. But this newfound strength changed your personality, too. You could say that again. I don't think I'd be a good host anymore. I think about it sometimes and laugh. But people change. It's unavoidable. I think I found my calling here. I'm glad you're doing well for yourself. Actually, I'm glad that we both are. Seeing those contest winners enter the cafe, it just shot me back to the past. Like I relived every moment of our career. And every moment after. In fact, I really embarrassed myself. It's not often I cry out in the open. I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I just wanted to show them a good time. You came to mind when I thought of that. It's fine, trust me. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. I'm thankful that we got to meet again. But I'm thinking to myself, what now? What do you mean? I don't know what I expect to happen next. I didn't even picture getting this far. Perhaps nothing needs to happen. I mean, you're doing well on your own. I am too. Maybe that's closure enough. I suppose you're right, Rook. I know that you're holding up alright. It won't keep me up at night anymore. But what if I don't want this closure? What do you mean? Will you keep in touch with me? I'm not asking you to come back to work, but I would love to become friends again. Feel free to say no if you'd like. I'm not trying to recreate what we had, because we're both different people, but... Claire, calm down. The answer is yes. Aww. Feelings. Okay. When I arrive in the office, they stare at me intently. I quickly apologize for any tardiness I've displayed. Explain that Acheron held me up in order to chat. This seems to be enough to sate their curiosity. Neither of them seem aware that I was listening in. No worries, we had no schedule. Besides, Keela kept me company. We had quite a lot to chat about. Yeah, Singe is really cool. He's smart and well-spoken. I could learn a lot from him. Ooh. You flatter me, Keela. But please, have a seat. There is much to discuss. I do as instructed and sit beside Keela. I expect the atmosphere in the room. What just happened there? I don't know if there's a way to pull open a log. Oh no. I missed a few lines there. Oh, nope, okay. Probably unimportant. At the press conference, he seemed so calm and carefree, but that must have been an act for the public. I have to wonder, is this how he truly feels? I want to start by thanking you both. Your dedication has been unmatched. The contest was a massive success. To that end, I have a present for you. I wanted to give it to you much earlier. Just give me a moment to get them, alright? Singe reaches under his desk for a few moments. He opens and closes drawers, looking for something. After a few moments, he smiles and lets out a sigh, almost like he was afraid he lost them for a moment. I know you had to give away the cans, the ones that won you your spot, I mean. To be honest, I found that silly. So I decided to have some replicas made. Something you could keep as a souvenir. They are exactly the same as you knew. Yes, I am a man of sentiment. The contest clearly meant a lot to you. So I thought this would be a nice gift. He places 2 cans of Pop Star on his desk. Me and Keela exchange glances with one another. Wow, Singe, that's really awesome. I was sad I had to give mine away, but now everything is A-okay. Keela happily grabs his can and places it in his pocket. That sure was interesting. I didn't expect it. The can on the desk reminds me of those simpler times. It was an exact replica of the one that got me here. But now it seems a little different, doesn't it? After all that happened, was it really so prestigious? It seems that it won us lots of pain and suffering. I hoped of myself that things would resolve happily. Still, so I don't seem rude, I accept the offering. I rest it in my lap, noticing that it's full. I'm assuming Singe wants it to stay that way. I had to guard over these cans with my life. I didn't want them to get stolen or leaked. Then there could be more than 2 winners. This is a personal present from myself. Please treat them with love and care. With that said, we have to move on. A lot has happened since we arrived here, and especially since you 2 arrived. I'm sorry that it has come to this, but I no longer feel safe keeping you here. I have arranged for transportation. Tomorrow you will both be taken home. I'm afraid the contest is cancelled. Trust me, it's not what I want here, and I truly wish I had better news. But we have to move on from this. You 2 are exempt from my previous rule of having to stay inside the building. You're both free, but that's not all. You'll be receiving compensation, of course. We had a lot of money aside for you 2. Instead, we'll just be giving it to you. You'll get a check before you leave for about $100,000. I hope these terms are acceptable. Your flight home will be tomorrow. I hope that we can be mature here. Will you agree to these terms? I will. I nod in acceptance. I can't exactly say no. But I knew I was still needed in Terra, so I'd have to play the rest of this by ear. This money isn't much when worlds are at stake. With that said, I have one last gift. Singe reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 cards. Interesting. They appear to be credit cards. There's one for each of you. They have a few $1,000s on them. It will help until you cash the check. This is my own personal money too. Another gift directly from me. There are lots of amenities on site. I trust you will enjoy your final day. Your flight will leave by noon. Meet me in the lobby at 7 o'clock. Okay. Keela grabs one of the cards and puts it in his pocket. I follow suit and do the same thing. This is eerie. It's almost like this wasn't happening. It was surreal. The end of an era, it feels like. Everything we both wanted, taken away from us. But I can't give up. There's still lots to solve. Just then, Singe's phone rings. He puts a finger up, ordering us to wait a moment. Yes? Singe speaking. I see. Are you certain? I understand. Please call for help. Singe hangs up his phone. He slumps down his chair with a huge sigh. What happened? Who was that? I'm afraid I have some bad news. A corpse was found on the premises. In the backstage area, to be precise. Are you serious? Singe places both hands over his face. He continues to speak, but it's muffled. It's unclear what emotion is worn underneath. It was Rocker, our guitarist. Not Rook? Oh no. Again, at a much earlier time. So, I guess that's all I need to say. The list, these people, and Elsina. Not to mention the power I've given you. Any questions before I send you back? Remember, this may be your only chance. I don't want you leaving with any regrets. What is going on? Oh no! What? None. It was all very clear. It might be hard to find a way in. The tour already has a guard, you know. It shouldn't be an issue. And after that, your opposition. Their goal is to kill. Yours is to protect. Again, it shouldn't be an issue. I've never failed any of my clients. I have no need to treat this differently. Well, there is some leeway here. You just need to leave one person alive. For your competition, it's all or nothing. It'll be interesting to see who wins. Life and death, fighting each other. The spot is as good as mine. I have no intention of ruining my record. I never let a client down before. Very well. I have one final request, however, regarding the one called Elsina. What is it? I'll be making up a big story. Something about parallel worlds. They'll think they have a power. If they tell you this, humor them. They mustn't know the truth of things. They are the key to my other adventure. Very well. With that being said, are you ready for the games to begin? The eternal struggle of life and death. But this time, we'll have a victor. Yes, I am. Good. And one final thing. When you meet your opposition, I think you'll come to understand. There's no motivation like sibling rivalry. Are they brother-sister? Okay. Take a little sip here. Velasquez kneels at an altar, surrounded by silence. In my time of need, I fear I am alone. But who does a man such as me pray to, when I already bear the burden of the world, and when its fate is now upon us? He grips the scepter in his hands, trembling softly. A monument to the dead is my only hope. Perhaps that is proof enough of my failure, but I know that we can find salvation. For nothing is below such a right, not as long as they have the power, or if they have the strength to use it. Heh. The fate of the universe is now a gamble, and here I am, filled with doubt, when once I was so sure. However, now it is too late. They are coming with 1,000 furies, and they will seek only our destruction. Taking a deep breath, he stands. But as they say about desperate times, he aims the sharp side of the scepter towards his body. He drives it through his chest. With a frightened scream, he loses his balance. Grabbing onto a pew for balance, he watches the floor become stained with his blood. He cries, "For Terra and the Immortal King." Oh, what is going on? Oh my god. Alright. I'm gonna call the episode here, guys. Yeah, wasn't expecting that. Thought he was gonna be the bad guy. Guess I was wrong. Alright, see you next time. Ta-ta!